Hey, how we doing now? It is Friday. We've got yourself a great week. I'm doing better. My wound is slowly getting better. I've been able to actually start some exercising this week, which is part of today's topic, but kind of getting there. So the topic is the first step to at least get started exercising after being sedentary. I think we've all kind of been there in one form or another. Now, whether you've never really exercised before and you chose to get into it, or if you exercised and then stopped and had a layoff, and that layoff could have been a couple of days, a few weeks, or a couple of years, and you got to get back into it. At least for me, I carry one of the lessons I learned 5 years ago. I dealt with cancer. And upon recovery, I couldn't do what I wanted to. Now, what I wanted to do was resistance training. That's what I enjoy doing. And since I couldn't do that, I chose to do nothing. So my health declined. What could I have done? I could have done more walking. Had a fan bike at the time. I could have used the fan bike. I could have done some stretching. I could have used a mobility work. I could have done some very light calisthenics. I could have done quite a bit to get myself started to at least do something, but I chose to do nothing, and I paid the price because I was off several months plus the weakness and everything else. So it took me a while to get back. And then with my injury, if you follow that, okay, today's Friday, so Monday it will be 2 full weeks, 3, since I did what's called a plyo box, big wooden box you jump up on. I jump, lapse concentration. I caught my shin on the edge of the box, so I got a gash in my shin. So yeah, it's been 2 full weeks. So yeah, it'll be 3 weeks on Monday. So 2 weeks I didn't do anything because it just hurt to move around. And I started a training program this week, very light, very easy, to at least start getting some mobility and stretching out the tissue. So the point of all this in here is, what's the first step to at least get started? It's not rocket science. It's nothing fancy. It's simply you have to choose to get started. I know. Looking for something a little more high tech, a little more sexy, but no, that's the point, is you have to choose to get started. And that's what it was for me. It's like, okay, I know I want to exercise, and I fully know I'm not going to be able to jump back into it. I'm not going to be able to go back into my heavy squats or heavy exercises like I'd like to, which is what I was doing a few weeks ago prior to the injury. So it's like, okay, what can I do now? Let me go through some of the programs I have access to. And you heard me talk about Mind Pump quite a bit. I took their starter program, which is actually designed for people to introduce people to get you started into exercising. It's also designed after a layoff or an injury. So it's let me go ahead and start doing that program. Not quite what I'm used to, but it still can scale. It's the weight you're using, which makes it more difficult. And it's only taken me about 30 minutes-ish to do. And it's supposed to be 3 days a week of foundational exercise. We're actually doing the lifting, and then you're also doing 3 days a week foundational exercise, 2 days a week of tension exercise, which is kind of mobility and stretching out. And that's just walking, which I can't walk very far right now. It hurts. But that's where I'm starting at. So I chose to start there, knowing it's not exactly what I prefer to be doing, but yet it's getting me going in the right direction. One of the nice things about muscle is muscle has memory. So if you have exercised before and you took, say, 10 years off, worst case scenario is going to take you 10 years to get back there. However, because muscles have memory, it's not going to take you less than half the time to get back there. But you got to stay consistent and have everything else going with you. It's getting the training program in, making sure you get your nutrition in, making sure you get plenty of sleep, don't have too much stressors in there, which is part of what that's a whole here, balancing the triad. That's what the entire thing is here. But yeah, the first step is really, you got to make that decision. You got to decide, okay, I'm going to start with something simple. What actually can you commit to doing? Don't go, all right, and you haven't exercised for quite a while. All right, you're going to go to the gym 5 days a week. That may or may not work for you, but most likely it's not going to, and you might fall off the wagon pretty quickly. What's something that you know you can actually do and commit to and stick with it? Is it starting off, is the one you hear me talk about quite a bit on here, is maybe walking for anywhere between 5 to 15 minutes after your meals. Can you maybe commit to that? Calisthenics is a great way. You can do push-ups, and they're scalable. Start off, the easiest push-up is lean up against a wall, and depending on how far out you lean, there's your push-ups. You can squat. You can use a chair like I'm in my office chair here. And if you need to, you can use the arms to help push yourself up if you need that there. So there's a variety of ways you can go through and do it, but at least get started and make the decision. And there's a lot of simple programs out there where you can do it with little to no equipment. If you got a gym membership, that makes the opportunities wider. I haven't been to a gym in 20 years, something like that. And I can't actually see myself going back to a gym setting. I just like to work out at home with minimal equipment. That's what I prefer to do. So there's a lot of options available to you, but simply put, again, the point is you have to make decisions to start. And if that's walking, that's where you start and you go from there. All right, so that's what I got for you. If you want some help in that, in the comments or either in the description, you'll find a link to my Facebook group, some free trainings in there to kind of get you started on that process. So that's what I got for you. So have yourself a great weekend. I will catch you on Monday. So take care and balancing to you. Bye-bye. At least I think so. Okay, let's try this. There we go. All right, now we'll see you later.